Good evening and welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission meeting of March 16th, 2026. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast by local access programming and with remote participation available as provided on our agenda. Is there anybody here recording tonight's meeting? No one's recording it. I hereby call the meeting to order at 6:32 p.m. Roll call, members attending.
Jim Foran, aye.
Pete Rowland.
Mike, you here? Here you go. Mark Munjum and Brendan Doley has been excused from tonight's meeting. And I go and read that.
I'll make a new
Doyle
one.
has been excused from tonight's meeting. All right, first up on the agenda for tonight is meeting minutes. So, Kate, will you want to read?
Do you want to push those to the end, or it's up to you? I don't care.
We'll move the meeting minutes till the end of the meeting.
Read them in.
And read them then. All right, new business, 6:30 p.m., request for determination of applicability, public meeting, Martin Road, Lot 5, map 169, Lot 23, stream determination, possible votes. I will read the legal notice. Town of Douglas Conservation Commission, legal notice for a public meeting for a request for determination of applicability. The Douglas Concom will hold a public meeting relative to the following filing under the Wetlands Protection Act, Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Douglas Wetlands Bylaw, requested by Goddard Consulting. Applicant is Spruce Hill Assets. Proposed work is located at Lot 5 off of Martin Road, formerly known as 45 Martin Road. The project is the overturn of a perennial stream status in accordance with 310 CMR 10.58/2A 1.D.A. No, dot. A public meeting will be on March 16th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. in the Municipal Center, Resource Room, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. The application is available for review by appointment at the Concom office at 29 Depot Street in Douglas, March 6th, 2026. Is there someone here to present this for us tonight?
Hi, good evening. Do I stand here? Is there?
If you want to
Usually sit at the corner of the table and have a microphone in front of you, please.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Hayes, professional wetland scientist with Goddard Consulting. Before you tonight with a request for determination overturning the perennial status of a stream using 4 days of no flow conditions. All those photographs were provided to you in the RDA. The Massachusetts drought status maps show that there were no drought conditions in Douglas during this period of time. And as a result, we meet all the qualifications to overturn the perennial status of the stream. And I can take any questions if you have any.
When was this reviewed?
There was I believe we did pay for a peer review. I didn't receive a report from him.
No, I mean, when was the stream analyzed as to its...
September 9th through the 12th of 2024. And all the photographs are in the documents that were submitted.
Hasn't this come before us before?
The Martin Road lots have come before us, but this is different. This is specifically for turning a perennial stream intermittent by submitting the 4 days of observation photos. So this isn't for a specific house or anything like that. It's mainly just for the stream.
What, does it indicate what part of the stream this is for?
So if you look up on the screen, I have the application packet here. Goddard submitted, you can see with the red outline is the property outline. And these locations are the locations along the river that they took their observation photos. So under the Wetlands Protection Act, you need 4 photos within a consecutive 12-month period. They don't need to be one after another necessarily, like they took them, but you need 4 days of observation photos. So basically what they did here is they took 6 different points on the river and took 4 days at each point. So each day they went to each one of these points and then took those photos, which is, I mean, technically more than you would need to do, but they did that. So that's our USGS map that we have here that shows where they took the photos. So my number one, I guess you could say, issue with it is just, so we have maps provided. We get drought statuses in Massachusetts every month, shows our drought status. When the map is issued, that is for the month prior, basically. So in this case, we have the map that's up here right now, right? So we have drought status declared September 9th, but that on the bottom, it shows reflecting conditions since August 1st, 2024. So the whole month of August, that's what this is reflecting. But then we have the second map here that shows drought status declared October 11th, but that's reflecting conditions since September 1st, 2024. So as I'm seeing this, which was acknowledged in the Goddard report, is that we were in a drought status when these were taken. So, you know, you can't take them when you are in a drought status. So, I mean, Nicole can answer to that, but that would automatically just...
Can you go back one slide?
Yep.
For me? So we've done a lot of these in our office, and we've talked with the drought status team force and looked back at the minutes of all of the meetings that they conduct. And I want to just point out on these maps, this is September 9th, 2024. And as you can see, Douglas is not on this map counting it as a drought. Yes, it says reflecting conditions since August 1st. But in the drought status team meetings, they take all the information of the present 30 days prior and make decisions. So they're using data from August 1st, but they're not retro backdating this map to August 1st because it says up here, effective until updated. On this map says September 9th, 2024, effective till updated. Please put the next map up. October 11th is the next map. It reflects conditions to September 1st. That's just them looking at the data, the water, how much precipitation we got, what do the streams look like at the present time. Again, it says effective until updated. So the September map, we're not in a drought. And this one, we are in a drought, but our documentation occurred between September 9th through the 12th of 2024. So it was prior to this updated map, which was done on October 11th. And that's how we are meant to read the maps.
Through the chair, just to confirm the dates that the data was taken was September 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th of 2024. So 3 of the days of the 4 days were taken during a drought. according to the map.
No, we're not. But on the fourth reading, October 11th, they did October 12th, so that would be technically in a drought.
September 12th.
September.
So,
But, go ahead, Kate.
so that map shows the data from September 1st through October,
Can you go back to the September?
through October.
So this is, the date of the map is September 9th, 2024. We did photographs on September 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So on the date of this map, plus 3 days after this map. This map is effective until updated. The next map, which was put out by the Drought Task Force, was, if you could go to the next slide again, October 11th. So from the 9th to the 11th, Douglas was not in a drought. And that's how you read those maps.
Through the chair, from what I understand of these maps, is that there's a reason they say at the bottom, reflecting conditions since September 1st, 2024, because they come out with the previous month's map the month after, basically. So the month of September, they're not coming out with the drought status until October. So that's how we always look at it. I also have, just to give another example, besides these maps come out every month, but I have online, they have a chart as well on DEP's website. Hang on. I can look back at historical droughts. This chart here is showing September 2024, Central Region, which is what Douglas is in, was in a mild drought for September of 2024. So the way Brandon and I are both looking at this are that during these photos, they were in a drought. So technically, these photos would not count. And I do want to mention that it was mentioned in this Goddard report that it was in a drought that some of these were taken. So I'm just a little confused as to, what's going on here. But as far as I'm aware, and what I spoke to Brandon with again, and he's done this for many, many years, right before we came, that they were in a drought during this period of pictures. I also do want to mention, and I'll show you right now. Now, this isn't the biggest deal, but, when you have these photos being shown, it's helpful to have more clear photos. And I know it's hard when, you put it into the PDF and convert it over and such, but it is very difficult to see the dates on these, and to see just the quality of the photos overall. If you guys have JPEGs of them that you could send over, that'd be nice too. It's not, sorry. Thanks. I always forget.
Yes, I do agree with you that some of the photos were hard to read, but that's why we presented also paper copies.
Yeah.
But I do understand that.
So those are, regardless, these were taken during a drought. So to me and Brandon's interpretation of it, those would not count being taken during a drought period. So, those are really my only comments for it, besides that the photos are a little difficult to see what's going on. And even on the paper, unfortunately, they're still a little bit blurry looking. Like this one's a little bit nicer. You can see the stream bed here. But just kind of overall hard to see. So if you have any questions for me, I can try to answer them to the best that I can, but that's my understanding of this situation at the moment.
From past periods when they've come before us or about this perennial stream and declaring it not a perennial stream, there was also, what came up was the flow, and whether the flow in this stream met the quantity to be considered a perennial stream.
I think you're talking stream stats.
And stream stats, right. And it was above the quantity or the stream stat for what constitutes a perennial stream. Wasn't by much, but it was above.
Yeah, the thing is, under the Wetlands Protection Act, even if you have that, the applicant still has the ability to take those photos and prove it otherwise. So the photos kind of go above all for that. But regardless, like I said, I mean, if it's during a drought, then you can't accept that. It needs to be taken during a non-drought period.
Seeing that there's a difference in opinion between our consultant and you, the proponent, as to this being within a drought or not within a drought, is that something, Sam, that we should maybe confirm with
Can we ask
DEP before we
I can
make
call
our
DEP, yeah.
decision?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I second that. I agree with that. I would like if the consensus would be against changing, I would like to ask DEP as well.
I can do that.
I think that would be the wise thing for us to do.
It's fine, yeah. I can do
I
that.
don't know if you guys agree or
I agree. That way, we're all on the same page. And
Yeah, I agree too. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a comment? This is Scott Goddard. Nicole and I work together.
Yes.
So I appreciate the dialogue here. Did Sam produce sort of a peer review letter that we could have to take a look at?
I did not. But if the commission wants me to, I can do that with my comments, but it's up to you guys if that's something you'd want me to do.
I think that could be helpful, just to give a chance to read that and digest it. I've seen this issue come up a fair bit in different towns, and I've definitely seen it treated both ways. And what we're proposing for the date being the date of when the task force met to make the declaration. That is the date that they assessed the data and made the declaration. That's very clear from the meeting minutes. They meet as a group, they have all their experts come in, they assess the information over the prior month, and they say, based on all this and our observations, do we believe we're in a drought condition? And they make a sort of a statement. Okay, yes, we are. And they identify that they used information that's effectively over the past the month. But I don't think it sort of defies some level of common sense to say that the date is a month prior to the date that it's declared to be so. So I understand they need to use data from the past because there's no data from the future or from the immediate present. You have to sort of look at the last month and where water levels high, stream levels high, groundwater levels high, reservoirs high, low, wells, etc., all the things, right? So they take that all into collective account when making the determination. And the meeting minutes for these meetings are somewhat interesting to read through. So I can understand the conflict here of thinking it through. So I guess my recommendation would be, I'd encourage if Sam wants to talk to the department, I think that's fine, and maybe just put together a letter for our review prior to a subsequent hearing.
Okay, thank you. Any comments from the audience regarding this proposal? That said, I think we should continue.
Yep. Do you want to do April 6th is the next one, or April 27th?
It's up to them. I mean, I can call DEP tomorrow. It doesn't make a difference, so.
And let's do April 6th.
How's our agenda for April 6th looking?
I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. I mean, we do have a lot of stuff.
And remember, we continued quite
Yeah.
a few things to April 6th.
If they do need to take more photos during a non-drought.
We're already in a drought
Yeah.
right now.
We're in a
I know,
drought.
but yeah, that will get better.
And maybe I can try to Nicole, do you think a JPEG would be a better?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah?
Mr. Chairman, do I have the ability to share a screen? Because I think I could share something that might enlighten this conversation a little bit. I don't see a screen share. Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on a second. Send request. So I sent a request for a screen share. If it allows me to, then, oh, look at that. Amazing. Amazing.
She's magic.
Route manager, okay. All right, so again, Scott Goddard, Goddard Consulting. So this document, here I'm on section 4.2, but this document, what this is, let me go to the top to show you what it is. This is the Drought Management Task Force, which is the reference in 1058, and it's the agency that declares the drought. Okay, so they wrote this in September 23. This is what the 1058 references. You know, DEP doesn't determine if we're in a drought. Conservation commissions don't. Consultants and experts don't. It's this, you know, collective group of bodies, and it goes. You have this 100 and some odd page document that explains how and why and where they go through the drought process to establish a drought and then declare it. So if you go to section 4, and this would be good for Sam to reference when she looks at this as well. So section 4, process of determining drought status. So this talks about how and when they make their declaration. So this is kind of the key term right here that cross-references the DEP regulations. It says this: after due consideration of the information and recommendations provided by the task force, Drought Management Task Force, DMTF, including current conditions, on-the-ground impacts, relative severity of indices, and forecasts of climatological and hydrological conditions, the Secretary of the EEA, Executive Office of Environmental Affairs, declares the drought levels for each region across the Commonwealth. And then this is the kind of the key statement right here. It says, the start date of the declared drought conditions is specified on the drought status map. So start date is the date of the declaration, not the date of what they're saying is the effective data. It's saying what's the date that it was declared to be a drought. And that's the best we have for language to mirror what is the intent of the Wetland Protection Act. So they meet on such and such a date, and that date they meet, they make a declaration, boom. And then they update the maps accordingly. So my read of that suggests that the date that they meet and issue the maps is the date that what this is referring to in their own handbook as the start date of the declared drought being placed on the map. So I would just offer that up as a conversation point. Sam can take a peek at that and see what she concludes. I think that would be healthy, and then we can advance the conversation.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Of course, it can be looked at both ways where droughts don't start just on one day and then they continue until they take them off. I mean, droughts kind of can start variably, and then also how they draw their lines. Their lines are drawn according to the counties, and it's really not correct that it can be a drought in Dudley, but the town next door, Webster, may not be a drought only because the county line goes between the two. So
yeah, no doubt about it.
I think we have to look at that.
Published. This is clearly not an exact science, right? They're not measuring and saying at this number it becomes this, and this water elevation or groundwater, this precipitation, that precipitation. It's a bit, it's kind of squishy. A lot of subjectivity kind of plays into it. When you read through the meeting minutes, you can see that comes through. They take a lot of people's opinions into account, and then they sort of come up with a best professional assessment. So you're right. Exact dates, municipal boundaries, all of it. It gets a little vague, but that's the best that we have presented to us, no doubt.
Okay. So I suggest.
So we request a continuation if we could.
Yep, thank you. That's where we were headed. Is continuation till April 27th okay, or you said April 6th you would prefer?
Either way.
Yeah, we can go to the later one in April. I think that's fine. And if Sam gets, is able to produce a letter, because if he could send it over to us, I think that'd be helpful.
All right, I think we may be better off from our commission waiting, because we already have quite a few items on the 6th that we've had to
Yeah,
continue.
that works just fine.
right.
Yeah.
Right,
Want to make a motion?
make a motion to continue till April 27th, 2026 for Martin Road, Lot 5, map 169, Lot 23, for the stream determination,
Second.
delineation, termination, sorry.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Kate to continue the public meeting till April 27th, 6:30 PM. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Kate Roland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Monjam, aye. All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. All right, what did I do with my agenda? Oh, there it is. All right. Now I'd like to open the meeting for number 2, 6:30 PM, NOI DEP number 143-1132, a public hearing which was continued for Robert Moran, Lakeshore Drive, a restoration map, 110, lot 39.2. Someone here representing the project?
I am Jude Govin, OHI Engineering.
Okay, thanks, Jude.
Robert Moran, I'm here as well. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so what do you have for us?
I revised the plans based on all the comments from the last hearing that we had. I did provide a letter, kind
Is
of
it here?
summarizing everything. If you want me to read it in, I can, but it's going to be helpful to go through the plan. If I could share my screen, I think I'm already on.
Yes, we would specifically like to know what the changes were made to the plan, and then we'll look at the narrative.
They kind of go hand in hand, but
Yep. Okay, good.
So the comments that were made were that we were asked to provide a cross-section for the wall and the patio. I provided that on sheet 2. I will show you that in a minute. We were asked to adjust the limits of work to be a little bit closer to the trees that are being removed and to the wall that is being proposed for the patio. We were asked to show the wall and patio in relation to the bank. We were shown to keep the existing shrubs along the path with possible relocation. We were asked to move the wall and patio further back. Provide a detail of the proposed swale, show the limits of the swale with the level spreader and the limits of grass, provide details of the dock, move the drainage feature further away from the bank. We provided a gravel driveway cross-section so they can construct it. The DEP comments for the applicant should clarify that there will be a bank. If there is a bank, will be bank, land underwater. When and how were the wetland resource areas evaluated on site? And they state that Manchug Pond is listed as a great pond, and it will require a Chapter 1 license. Like I said, we provided a cross-section on sheet 2. Of the wall in relation to the how it's tipping back away from the pond. The patio sloping back, the gravel drive is sloping back into the swale. We revised the limit of work to go tightly around the trees and pushed it further away from the pond. And we also tightened up the erosion control around the proposed wall, patio, and the drainage feature. The dimensions were added to the plan from the patio and from the rock wall that's being proposed. We have we added a call on the plan. We show the 3 shrubs that were planted. We provided a call on there to temporarily remove them, store them, and protect them, and reinstall them once construction's done.
What was
We
that?
moved the wall.
What was that
Go
that you're
ahead.
protecting, moving and protecting?
Temporarily remove, store, and protect, and reinstall the shrubs. We were asked to move the wall and the patio further back. We were able to move the wall and the patio back by about 1.3 feet. And that's because we're squeezed in so tightly to the property line. As you can see, this darker line here, that's the property line between Mr. Moran and Mr. Goodson. And we have a swale that we're trying to get in there, and we're tipping this pathway back into the swale. So we're kind of tight for space over there. We did look at it. We did try and move it as far away as possible. We did end up moving the drainage feature a little bit further back than it was proposed before by about 5 feet or so. And we had the room to do that in that area because we didn't have the swale. The swale dissipates into the drainage feature before the property line. So we did have some room to move that back a little further. The other thing I'd like to point out, if you can see this straw wattle was placed when the erosion had happened from the storm that put all the driveway and eroded the slope, which is why we're trying to put this access drive back. That's where the sitting area exists today, and there was a fire pit and a picnic table, and that's what they used. That was kind of the limit of their disturbance prior, and so we're moving the features further back than what was currently exists at this point. We did provide a detail of the swale. So that it can be constructed accordingly. We I have submitted plans for the Chapter 91 license. This is sorry, I'm kind of jumping around here. This is the existing conditions. As you can see, the straw wattles are there. I misspoke last time. I thought Mr. Moran was proposing a new dock, and it turns out he just wants to get a license for the existing dock that he's been currently using since he purchased the property. He takes it in and out of the water seasonally. So he's looking to just clean up the permit process from the Chapter 91 aspect and just get a legal permit for the dock, which has been in existence since he purchased the property. So if you could see, it's reinstalling the existing dock. And we have a couple of cross sections showing the dock, and the mean annual high water line is here, and the thick black line, and the low water level is the dashed line. And that's in relation to the existing dock that is there. You can see pictures of it. Kind of blurry. Like Sam said, converting them to PDF, sometimes they get a little fuzzy, but you can see that that's the existing dock that he currently uses. And these are the panels, the 7 panels. They're all 10x4 sections. as I said before, the drainage feature has been moved away from the bank as much as possible. We did provide a cross-section for the gravel driveway, sloping at 2% away from the pond and into the swale. And we took the bank line from the plan reference and we confirmed it out in the field with topography on the ground survey. So we're not disturbing any wetlands, so to speak. It's more bank than wetlands. And like I said, we took the line, but we confirmed it out in the field. And we recognize that Manchog Pond is a great pond and we will need to get a Chapter 91, which is what I explained earlier about Mr. Moran just wanting to get the permit instead of it just being an existing dock that has no permit with it. So those are all the revisions that we had made and were requested to make, and hopefully I answered all of the questions. And I'd be happy to take questions from the commission or the public or whoever wants to ask.
Sam, have you had a chance to review this? And do you have any comments?
Yeah, so I mean, it seems that most of the things that the commission was concerned about last time have been addressed here. I do just want to verify if Jude could answer to it. I want to verify just on the record that the dock is in the same footprint as what it's always been, and that no additional impacts to bank are going to be happening for this dock.
It is in the exact same spot. We survey located the existing dock. And like I said before, I thought he was putting in a new dock, but it's the same dock. We're just trying to clean up the permitting process from Chapter 91, but it's going right back in the same place.
Okay, and then, so there was a previous filing with the commission for the dock? Is that what this memo is saying? The project is associated with bank taken from a previous filing with Concom, then confirmed in the field by an on-ground survey of the bank as shown. I just wanted to see, as far as the dock goes, you said Mr. Moran wants to make sure all the permitting is straight with everything, so I just want to make sure we're all good with the dock. Do you know if there's been, maybe the dock's been there forever, I don't know how long it's been there, but has there ever been a filing with the Concom for the dock itself?
No, I can see how that's a little misleading. We took the bank line from a previous filing for the abutting property, which showed the bank on Mr. Moran's property. When Mr. Goodison went to build his house and tear down the old one, he had filed a plan. So we took that plan and we took that line from that plan and put it on our plan, but then we confirmed that line out in the field by locating the top of bank.
Okay. Because my concerns are, there's footings that come down and touch the bottom of the lake, correct?
They're not footings, they're just stilts, posts that come down and touch the bottom of the lake.
Okay.
They're not anchored in any way. They're simply adjustable legs. So when he installs the dock, they adjust the legs to be above the high water mark and they touch the bottom of the pond.
Yeah, I'll take a stab at that one, Sam. This is Robert Moran, owner of 56 Lakeshore, for the record. The feet of the dock that actually touch the bank, there's this sort of a pad at the bottom, and it turns up on each end, and it's a wide pad that the structural leg of the dock sits on, and it just rests on the bottom of the lake. Does that help?
Yeah, and then as far as, I'm trying to look at this cross section, but on the bank itself, is that ramp always there? Does that get taken up, the ramp that goes on land?
That's been taken up. Yeah, that gets taken up at the end of the season.
Okay. So that was really my only main question, do you feel comfortable with the dock? They will be getting a Chapter 91 license with it. If you were to approve it this evening, I would recommend maybe doing some type of condition that the Chapter 91 license maybe be provided to you once it's issued to them, just for our records, so you have it on record. If you wanted to go as far as saying before a certificate of compliance is issued for this project, we receive the Chapter 91 license documentation, so we have it for our records, so we know that the applicant has gone and done that. The other thing that we brought up with other applications that I just want to be consistent with and bring up with this one, and we briefly talked about it with this last time, but talking about the 100-year flood zone again, I did reach out to town council just to get clarification on it, and basically she agreed with Brandon and my stance on the matter that reading the bylaw, the flood zone gets a 100-foot buffer zone and then would need the setbacks. So the 25-foot no touch, 50-foot no build. So this is a good time, if you want to have a discussion about it, how you want to move forward, if you want to have people show the 25-foot no touch from whatever is the outermost, wetland resource area. In this case, it looks like it was shown from it says wetland edge on here, but I think that's the bank edge. But so in some parts, the 100-year floodplain does come out a little bit farther than that. So if we're showing it from there, the buffer would need to be adjusted a little bit on this plan if you see fit. Now, under your bylaw, you're also able to, the applicant can basically overcome the presumptions and say to you, I don't think this will have any adverse impacts to resource areas, and you can basically vote to kind of give a variance to them and say you don't need to meet the setbacks from the flood zone. Now, again, if you want to be consistent, just have them tweak the site plan. If you wanted to approve it, you could say, let's receive a tweaked site plan within a week or whatever to get that, and then have that one on record. You could do that. My last kind of comments on it are, I said before, this area has been previously disturbed for a while. I do think it's the most feasible location, it seems, without taking down even more trees or removing even more vegetation, and just with the existing topography and existing conditions, it seems that it's, what I see as the best option right now. But other than that, those are really my comments. It seems that everything's been addressed that you guys had asked for last time.
Thank you, Sam. I had a question as to the bottom of the detention area, if you will, at the base of the riprap swale, and what the treatment of that area is. It's just shown as a dotted circle, like it's supposed to be called out as something, and I don't see anything identified there.
Was that for the basin, right?
It's simply a depression in the ground. We're going to plan on lumen seeding it. It's simply, we're not taking infiltration into consideration. We're simply trying to detain the water. So we're just holding it up in a small pond when the swale discharges into it, if it does.
If it does, yeah. The hope is, and I'd remind the commission that we're installing catch basin at the top of the lake shore, at the top of this slope, and a significant set of Cultec inverts, a significant expense at the top of the slope to really intercept anything that would ostensibly get to this point. So the hope is that the flow doesn't get here, and if it does, the majority of it is caught in the drainage system that's being installed at top. Does that help?
Yes, I understand all that. So there's no planting, you don't have a planting plan in that. You said grass, just you're going to grass it, that little area where the water's going to collect?
Yes.
that was, I didn't see that on the plan, or did I miss it?
I don't remember saying anything about it. I think it's changed a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's a little deeper, isn't it, than it was before? I'm seeing it's like elevation 170.5, and existing elevation is 174 on the top side of it, so it's about a 3.5-foot cut down into it.
Correct.
And the wall, you have it 174.2? Okay, yep,
The top of wall, yes.
all right. I think plants will grow in there no matter what we do. All right. Anybody from the audience have any comments, questions? Kate, anything? Any concerns? Have we?
Can I address the floodplain if nobody has any questions?
Of course. Sure.
On the reason why I did not show a buffer, I did talk to Sam and Brendan through email. And the reason I did not show a buffer on there is because I heard the word consistency, and I wasn't aware that Sam had actually spoken to town council. They said they were reaching out to them, so I did not have that information. But the plan for the abutting neighbor who built their house there in the bank that we took from, the bank line that we took from, shows a floodplain line on it, and it does not have any buffer zone associated with it. So I was trying to be consistent with the abutting property and how that was treated.
Okay, thanks. I'm looking at, in this situation, that and this is Sam, I mean, I see that the wetland line and the floodplain line on this project, they're pretty close together.
Yeah, I mean, it diverts off a little as we go this way, which might actually be off-site. So.
And then the other thing I'm seeing is that the floodplain line runs across elevation, like, it goes across many elevations, but it
does. They don't give an elevation on the floodplain maps. They simply provide a line. So sometimes we get stuck with just simply showing a line.
Yeah, so like on the right side, it's coming across like 171, 170, but then at the bank where the dock is, it's coming across 169, 168 and a half. So,
right. And
our work, or your work that we're proposing, is up around elevation 172, 173. You know, it's probably 3 or 4 feet in elevation change above the floodplain line. And so I think, from me, my perspective in looking at it, I'm not as concerned about the buffer when you have that much elevation change between the two for this situation.
And it will, you know, it will depend on the situation as well. You know, like I said before, this lot previously disturbed, it's been used, you know, for a while. Obviously, there's not pavers there right now, but it has been a disturbed area. So, I mean, it may have to be a case-by-case kind of thing. And like I said, the applicant can overcome and you know, say to you, I don't think this is going to have any adverse impacts on the buffer zone or the no-touch area, and you may approve it, you may not. You have the ability to do that. But I just want to, you know, going forward, think about how we want to look at this, because it hasn't been addressed in the past. So, but when I read the bylaw, it's pretty clear to me that, you know, so it's just a discussion to have. And
well, I mean, I think clearly we should, our applicants should show the floodplain line and show the buffer to the floodplain line, you know, on all future plans.
And to Jude's point as well, I had not gotten in contact with him. I heard back from town council a couple days ago, so Sorry about that, Jude. I'm going to send out an email to a couple other people as well who were here the last meeting to make sure we're all on the same page with that. But yeah, Jude didn't get the memo because I didn't contact him.
I jotted down 3 conditions. I jotted down that I feel like the road edge improvements should be done prior to these changes being made on the slope, the pathway and all, because they're limiting the amount of water that comes down through this area, so I would really like for those changes to be made ahead of these.
pathway.
Yeah.
As far as the swale, you
No,
mean?
as far as the drain inlet or catch basin
Okay.
and the pipes that go out across to the Coltech chamber across the Lakeshore Drive, and then the outfall to that.
We have no issue with that at all. Actually, if I could speak for Mr. Moran, he wants to put that in prior to the work because, you know, if we don't put that in and he gets a storm while he's doing the work,
Right.
it's just going to wash away.
Right.
So the proposal for that drainage feature is we got a catch basin right before it enters the property and it's going across the street. We did some soil testing and found groundwater in the soil types, and we're going to hold a few storms in that area with some Coltech chambers and some stone around it, and it'll infiltrate into the ground as the storm is happening. And say during a 100-year storm, we'll hold back most of the water, but we do provide an emergency outlet that will discharge into the swale. So it is in his best interest to do that work beforehand.
Right, so you don't mind if we have that as a condition then?
I don't, Mr. Moran could,
Okay,
yeah, he's shaking his head.
well,
Fully intend to do that.
yeah,
And then
well,
have a contractor ready to
okay,
begin that, yeah.
well, it will be a condition. And then another one, Jim, was no additional bank impact will occur? Right, which is what you said, Sam, and what he
Yeah,
verbally stated, that no additional bank
Yeah,
impact
beyond
will
what
occur.
was already there.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine.
And then the Chapter 91 license shall be provided prior to a certificate of completion.
Yep.
Okay.
Fair, yep.
And then our standard special permit.
Yeah, so you'll say standard special conditions
Standard special
with the
conditions.
following special conditions.
Did you want to make the updated plan a special condition as well?
I mean, oh, you're saying if we required them to do
Yeah.
a new one, you can have that discussion. But I don't know if you want to require them to submit a new plan or not.
I don't think we need to require them to do a new plan.
What would be on the new plan, if I could ask?
That's why we're not requiring it, because I don't see that there would be anything new.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You want to make a motion to close?
Yep, make a motion to close.
Any
Third-
comments from the public?
Oh, sorry. Any,
I had already asked that.
Okay,
but-
then, sorry.
Yeah, no,
All
it's
right.
all right.
make a motion to close the hearing for 30 Southwest Main Street, 40B.
No,
Oh, sorry, previous one. Oh, sorry.
Lakeshore, yeah.
Yeah, DP 143-1132 for Lakeshore Drive to close.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made by Jim and seconded by Kate to close the public hearing for DEP number 143-1132. Mr. Robert Moran, Lakeshore Drive. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. And then,
Make a motion.
yep,
All right, I'll make a motion to, for the NOI for DP 143-1132 for Lakeshore Drive Restoration, map 110, lot 39.2, with the standard special conditions, and also to include before certificate of compliance, the documentation for the Chapter 91 be submitted. Also, the road edge should be done prior to the pathway for the catch basin, and no additional bank impact will occur.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Jim and second by Kate to approve the notice of intent for Robert Moran, Lake Shore Drive, DP number 143-1132, with the aforementioned standard special conditions and other conditions, including that the road edge improvements at Lake Shore Drive, the catch basin and the Cultec chamber above this work area be completed before the work on this notice of intent are done or are started. So all those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. If I may ask one question, Sam, I need to coordinate the reinstallation of the boulders in. Who do I reach out to get conservation on site to confirm that?
Bob, you can reach out to Jen at the town hall, and then she'll get in contact with us.
Fair enough. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I don't know. A lot of people still sticking around. Must be.
Is everyone here for the regards to 30 Southwest Main Street in the audience? Okay, no problem. Do you want to do a time limit, like 2 minutes for each person? No. Okay. Well, I only asked because it was. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything else on the meeting.
Well, no, I know. I just.
Oh, we've already been at it an hour?
Yep.
I am slow.
You are, but that's okay.
My wife's birthday, I told her to get out of the...
That was it? Give her a shout out.
Yeah. Hey, Leslie, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Leslie.
And you're here. What dedication?
No. All right. Next on the agenda, 30 Southwest Main Street, 40B comprehensive permit. Simply a discussion tonight. Sam, what do you have for us here? Do we have a big set of plans? You know?
Yeah, a very big. Well, I have an 11 by 17, which may be easier to.
That's better than 8.5 by 11.
Large if you, unless you do want it, but.
Do you guys
So we're
wanna-
in the preliminary discussions. I believe the town had a meeting. They had a pre-application meeting. I was not in this meeting. I don't think Brandon was either. So the highway department, building department, assessors, planning, everybody commented on it. So this is really my first time kind of really looking at this. So it's a proposed development. We've got bordering vegetated wetlands, maybe an isolated wetland on site that's all been flagged out. We have a site plan by land planning. Looks to be that, you know, some of it's going to come in the buffer zone. I do have the plans up here too, but we've got some grading that would come in within the buffer zone. This infiltration basin seems to come, I mean, grading looks like it comes right up to the wetland line. So, again, I don't know if Brandon has given any comments on this or not. So for me looking at it, just, again, this is preliminary, but they would need to come through the commission because we're in the buffer zone for portions of this. My concern is mainly with that, this basin, infiltration basin up here looks to be, the grading comes really close. So, you know, my initial suggestion to the applicant, would be to get an ANRAD to verify the wetland lines. If they didn't want to do that, then it would be, when their application comes through to you guys, we'll review the wetland line as it comes through, and then if we make any changes, we make changes. But that's really all there is to be said on my end. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, I can try to answer them. Again, I don't know if Brandon has had any discussions with the town regarding this one, or if he has given any input on it or not yet, but we're definitely within the buffer zone in certain areas. So they'll have to come through the commission at some point with what's in front of us right now.
Right, I mean, it looks to me like, in my review of the plan, that the bulk of the project, where the housing is, does not impact wetlands or buffer. But as you enter the site, right near Southwest Main Street, there's an infiltration basin that's planned that is directly adjacent to the wetlands. In fact, it almost touches, some of the grading touches the wetland edge. So that is, my biggest concern is that infiltration basin that's located at the very front part of the property from a wetlands perspective. The rest of the site, or the rest of the development, as it goes to the back of the site, the infiltration basin area for that is well outside the 100-foot buffer. It's probably a couple hundred feet from wetland. It's there's some riverfront, I see, but it's probably 100 feet from the 200-foot boundary for the riverfront area. So outside of our jurisdiction there, nothing at the back. The back is more riverfront, but we're well outside the buffer zone for that at the back. There's a small bordering vegetated wetland at the back right of the property that they are within the 100-foot zone for that area. That area concerns me a little bit. It looks like a very defined low area. Is that something that they would need to check to see if it has vernal pool possibilities?
Well, we would, when we do our review and we go out there, and if we think this looks like it could be a vernal pool, then we could have them certify it. I also haven't checked Mass Mapper if it's already a potential vernal pool or not. I can check that real quick, but yeah, that would be something when we go out there, when it comes through us, for us to review and then address at that time.
But not until then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this isn't before us at the moment, so.
Right. The site itself looks like it's noted as being 28 acres in size. Do you know how many units are being proposed?
I think 30.
30 units.
If I'm not mistaken. I think I just read it. 33 bedrooms.
Do you have any comments, either, any of you guys? Anybody in the audience have anything, any comments, any thoughts? Want to be included in discussion?
Discussion tonight?
Just an informal discussion, there's nothing.
Listening to see what's being said. Actually comes before you, probably the proper time to come up with comments.
Yep.
So, I don't know if you want to put on the record to say, according to this preliminary plan, they are in our jurisdiction in some areas, so they will need to come before the commission if they're going to be doing this, so, according to this plan. So that's really...
Yes, so the result of having this on our agenda tonight and having this discussion is what? Are we supposed to send a letter saying
I can ask that to
we've reviewed the
Jen.
plan and that there are areas within our jurisdiction, and so they should be filing a notice of intent?
I think that's mainly, they want your feedback and they want to know, are we in jurisdiction? And they are, so. And if I can ask Jen, see if she wants a memo of some type, I could write up a memo.
Well, that's what I feel it should say. It's, we clearly feel that it is, there are aspects of the plan that are within our jurisdiction, and we should have a review, and they should file a notice of intent. Because I don't think we should be specific about what our concerns are at this point.
No.
There's no need to be. That's their responsibility.
What is hydrologic soil group A?
That would be a well-drained soil. So as you get lower, it's less well-drained. It's going to drain a lot slower. And you'll probably, like if it's a soil D, it'll probably be a hydric soil. So the water is not draining well at all through it.
Thanks.
All right, that's all I have. Anybody else? Nothing else? All right, thank you. Thanks for coming. Some orders to be signed and review our meeting minutes.
There's one other, so open session for topics not reasonably anticipated. We have 106 Pine Street as well. It's just not on the agenda.
Right.
So basically what's going on at the moment is Brandon went out, did a site visit here and brought his GPS with him and found that the limit of work, limit of disturbance that was originally approved goes out a bit farther than what was originally approved in the order of conditions. So he did do a little map that I can show you guys. He determined that it's about, and again, this is approximate, he's not an engineer, but it's about 8,000 or so square feet additional that we've gone towards the woods, out towards within the riverfront area as well. So there's been some more impacts than what was originally approved. So let me get his little map up real quick here. As far as I'm aware, I believe the applicant is trying to pour the foundation for this house. And when I was speaking to Brandon about it, he doesn't necessarily want to hold up the foundation because Raouf from Alpha Omega Engineering, he did, I believe he did GPS the edges of the house, and that is where it's supposed to be. So Brandon doesn't have any concerns about the house itself, so he doesn't necessarily want to hold anyone up from pouring the foundation, but what we are recommending is, you know, having them submit some type of restoration of this area, because as far as I'm aware, that's already been cut and such, where the red is that you can see here. The green was the original limit of, oh no, this one I think was the original limit of disturbance, one of these, but then we went out a little bit farther here, so.
How far is that? Do you have his?
I don't know exactly, but he just kind of put the square footage here of the approximate area, because this was the proposed, you know, tree line. Anyway, so what we're recommending is to allow them, if you feel comfortable, allowing them to move forward as far as pouring their foundation, but putting a timeline on receiving some type of restoration of the areas that have gone over. So they're going to have to figure out, you know, where was this originally supposed to be. And according to Brandon, Raouf didn't do the erosion controls and did not GPS the erosion controls. I don't know who did, but so they're going to need to determine what was originally approved, where, you know, how far did we go out, and then they're going to need to do some type of restoration for that area, especially because we were in the riverfront area here as well. So we've increased impacts to riverfront area. But yeah, that's kind of our comments on it. And we would say, I mean, if you want to give them, I don't know if you want to do the April 6th meeting, if that's too soon, we already have stuff going on, but it could be the second meeting in April, kind of give them a timeline, and we can hear from them as well, just their feedback on it, but just giving them a timeline to say, okay, let's get a restoration for the areas that have gone over. But that's what we've got.
This is currently under an enforcement order, is it not?
I don't think so, not under us.
Because they were here before because of the work that was done at the front of the property. To speak to the clearing, additional clearing that was done in that area.
Yeah, but we didn't, I'm not seeing any enforcement order. We had an order of conditions, a signed order of conditions in September of 2024. I know there was issues with the building department. I'm not fully aware of the entire situation. I do know what you're referring to, though, as far as extra clearing. And Brandon showed that up here, so that's kind of... 1,800
square feet.
Yeah. So this restoration would need to include all of that. This area, this spot, and all around, wherever we went over here.
Well, I'm just concerned because we had that issue come up, we expressed our concern, and now the amount of work outside of the approved limit of work has increased again.
Mm-hmm.
I could speak to that whenever.
We'll give you a chance.
Okay.
And I don't want this to continue to happen. And I feel like, you know, a cease and desist or an enforcement order at the very least should be considered so that, you know, we're on record as saying that this is not acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to have to be repaired at some point.
And that's an avenue you can take. You can issue an enforcement order this evening. And, you know, in that enforcement order, you can require a restoration plan that says we must receive this restoration plan by such and such day. Beyond that day, if you wanted to implement fines, you can implement fines. But that's an option for you.
I mean, if it hadn't already been before us for having expanded, then I probably wouldn't, but I'm really concerned that's second time. It's like, first time, it's an accident, second time, you can't keep just slapping people on the wrist and saying, you know, please do better. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that or not.
Was the first time they came before us when Brandon went to, like, right after that, he went to go check this? Like, is this still part of the first time?
So, you know, this was in front of you guys for the order of conditions. We've done a site visit. I've done a site visit for the original order of conditions.
Got it. Okay.
Looked at the site from there. And then I'm not remembering clearly if that was when we saw this clearing, or this might have come up during another discussion, and then we pointed that out as well. And then what had happened was we were supposed to get out to the site, but because we've had snow for so long, we have not gotten out there, and Brandon just got out there a few days ago. So that's when we've been able to fully gather exactly what's going on here. So yes, the site visit was supposed to happen, but because of the snow, it hasn't happened yet, and it just happened a few days ago. So that's where we're at with it.
Can you please come forward, state your name and...
Jack Chapman. So the erosion control was put in and inspected by the Pier Brandon's company, October 4th of 2024, and it's never been touched since. And that's on the line that we're showing right here. That was GPS mark. It's never been touched since 2024. We were notified that Brandon drove by a few months ago and noticed that maybe things weren't to the plan. We came in front of you guys a couple months ago for a quick meeting. At that point, we got with Brandon because there was additional fee for him to go and do more review. And right at that point, he said, we're gonna not be able to come out because of snow, and he just came out. So the area that we're seeing that's more than what we thought wasn't done after we were notified from you guys. It wasn't, we were warned and then we did it again. This was done, the erosion control was set in 2024. And we haven't done any work even in this area. It's just a matter of where the erosion control is stayed. This hasn't been touched or worked in. The work has been concentrated right by the house, inside the proposed work. But it's just a matter of our erosion control being in the wrong spot, not work being done in that area. So we would ask, you know, definitely we'll have Raouf come out and state exactly where the erosion control should be placed. We'll fix that immediately. But we also do ask that we are allowed at least to pour the foundation, because right now it is excavated. So that's, if anything, going to cause, you know, maybe more concern. And forms are in, ready to be poured. It would just be, yeah, we could pour that and then we can rectify this right away. We didn't do anything since a concern was, you know, brought to us by any means. We weren't trying to sneak one by you. Also, you can see where the erosion control is placed, and actually it should have been closer to the pond in this area. So we were, well, I don't know the correct word, but, you know, better in areas. Obviously we moved farther in other areas, but we weren't definitely trying to, you know, do something wrong intentionally here. And we want to make it right as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what did Brandon GPS, do you know, did he go out and try to see where work had occurred to, and that's what his line was?
His line is the erosion controls,
Is the erosion control?
as they are currently. But
How were
what
the erosion controls established? The location for the erosion
They weren't
control?
staked, so we went by like somewhat of landmarks, but they were not surveyed. So we would definitely have that done and move it forward. There's no
Okay.
work in that area being done.
Okay.
So we just asked, we'll correct it, move it closer, and contain what's going on, but we definitely weren't doing work in that area.
Okay. Is the green line that's on this plan, the dark green line,
That's the erosion control
Is that
now,
supposed to be
right?
the erosion control line? Because how come it goes through what looks like a
It's, yeah.
basin or something at the back of the pool,
I don't know
behind
what
the
the
pool?
proposed, that was the proposed dry well.
Yep.
I don't know why it goes right through there. I mean, it shows the tree line to be right next to that, so maybe it was that close. I mean, I can pull up the original plan, but
I believe that was the existing tree line,
The green?
the like lime green.
Yep.
I believe that was the existing tree line.
this one,
Yes.
yeah.
That
which
makes
we're
sense.
Proposing it, the proposed tree line is the dark green one, because we would need room for the dry well to be installed.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's quite far enough to do it, but. Okay, so what you said is, I feel, is important at this stage, and that is the erosion control be surveyed and the fences be moved to the surveyed accepted line.
Yep, absolutely, I agree.
Okay.
And again, it was not intentional by any means. We went even closer in that spot. It just was, you know, a mistake of going off wrong landmarks, I suppose. But we want to make it right as soon as possible, and could provide proof of that maybe at that later April meeting. But I do ask that we're able to at least pour the foundation so we can backfill to prevent any type of actual erosion. I do have photos, but they are on my phone.
Okay.
I mean, we're definitely here to be compliant and just get on the right track
Yeah.
and move forward.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's in red, but
I know, we don't usually
it's
see all red.
it's concerning to me to see
It looks pretty bad.
how much closer it is to the right side of this page,
Yeah.
you know, in the wetland, the actual
Give you an idea,
wetland, around wetland flag 12 and wetland flag 13.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like right there.
With that being said, the erosion control that was proposed is on those wetland flags up there, which were much farther away. But again, we're not supposed to be there, and we want to move them away. But no work or disturbances in that area. You can tell that like the growth of like straw, like hay, is consistent with what is around the pond. It's behind the erosion control that couldn't be touched.
Yeah. So does that make sense, Sam, to have them survey and
Yeah, absolutely.
reinstall
Yeah.
Okay.
And then provide you some, if you can, I mean,
So-
by the.
I could do an
So
as-built.
there may have been work done behind where they're putting in this the erosion control barrier now, but we can address that.
Yeah,
at-
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so you haven't removed any trees in the red area at all? You haven't done anything in that area? Or you have? Like, has there been any
I mean,
disturbance
other
within
than
this?
just maintaining grass, there was tall grass, like hay grass, that we did mow with like a brush mower. But
Okay.
other than that,
It was also like tires and that type of thing. We cleaned up the whole lot, so it was
Oh, yeah.
like tires and that we had to clean up. It was an old trailer that they
Right.
demolished.
So if you guys remember
So
when
they
we
cleaned
first-
that up, the trailer.
yeah, when we first came, I remember one comment, it was like a scary movie. The large trailer was in this area. There was a second trailer on tires pretty close to this corner with all trash. In total, we took about 6 to 8 50-yard dumpsters of just garbage, including the trailer. But that trailer was in this area, and I remember it was over 15 tires, I think 16 tires just in that area. So I mean, we've definitely been doing everything we can to clean it up and make it better.
Okay.
And we want to get back on track. That's our main goal.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to just require them to, you know, stake it out, give some type of as-built proof of the stakes are in the right location, and then we can address if Brandon thinks there's actually been a lot of disturbance that have happened in there, then we could go from there.
Yeah, I think that's the first step, is stake, reinstall erosion control barrier on the limit of work line. First step. And then we'll have a site visit, I think, and we'll take a look at
Allow
this
them
and-
to pour the concrete?
Yeah. So, I don't want to stop from doing that.
I'd appreciate it.
I mean, I can, if you want, I mean, you don't necessarily have to take a vote on it. I could make a memo if that's easier, if you want, just to keep track of it. Otherwise, I mean, it's on record here, but. So do you want him to
We
come
can-
back to the April 27th? What is it? April 27th meeting or the April 6th? Those are your options for April. Maybe the 27th.
So once you pour the
Well,
concrete,
should we set it, oh, sorry, go ahead.
my question is, once you pour the concrete, like, how long does it need to set before you guys can start building on for the house? Or
Within a few days. We'd have no problem meeting that timeline.
Okay, I was just curious
Yep.
in my own.
I mean,
Well, surveyors aren't always easy to get to.
Raouf will come right out for us. I mean, I would want like a little bit of time, but those meetings will be okay. Preferably the later one, but we can make the first one work too.
If the later one's fine with us, because
I mean, that's fine with, that would be great.
Okay.
It's not a huge job to be doing.
okay.
Again, we just want to be compliant and get back on the right track.
Okay.
Do you want to just take a quick vote? So, okay to pour the concrete, and then, or do you? or-
You don't have to,
Okay.
but like I said,
All right,
Want to vote.
so go ahead, pour your concrete, and then,
April 27th, come back with an as-built and maybe some photos of the erosion control installed.
Would it be helpful to send those to Brandon beforehand, or to Jen to send to Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, if you have them ready before the meeting and you guys can send them over beforehand, then that'd be good. The earlier the better, so whenever you
Absolutely.
have them, you can send them over, we can review them. If we need to go out and just do another site visit or whatever, if that needs to happen, then we can before the meeting, but yeah.
I have no problem with that. Yeah, as soon as we get it done, there's a little bit of like a snow, like pile in a little bit of this area, but with the weather, it will be gone very soon. So we
Yeah.
can jump right on this as soon as we get it backfilled, and we'll get it in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
I appreciate it.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good night.
Have a
Yeah,
good
that was
one.
April 27th.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Does that mean Kate is up?
I'm sorry.
We have not hit our 2-hour mark yet.
There's something else that Jen wanted us to discuss. Another not reasonably anticipated. Mass DOT sent out a notification for a vegetation management plan, and they sent it to a bunch of towns, and Douglas was included. They will be obviously doing vegetation management in different right-of-ways, which will include, I think they're going to be doing herbicide application. Attached for your information is the environmental monitor notice published by the Massachusetts Department of Agriculture and Resources. You have 45 days to comment to MEPA regarding this VMP. Vegetation Management Plan. Your department will be notified at least 21 days prior to the application of herbicide to the right-of-way in accordance with 33 CMR 1107. So it's basically just to give you the opportunity to comment if you have any issues. I don't have like a map or anything, but it's just for your consideration, just letting you know what's going on.
Yep. So I think we can participate in the public hearing if we so choose, right?
Yep.
I think
It's a Zoom.
Zoom, yep.
March 27th at 9:30 a.m. They provide the meeting ID and the passcode for their public hearing.
All right.
And we signed everything?
Yeah, you only need to do one thing. That one was the DOA.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
All right, meeting minutes. Back around to meeting minutes. So
Look,
we
no one-
had a number of meeting minutes that
Yes.
had not been reviewed and voted on. I had asked at the end of the last meeting if we could try to get them wrapped up for the ones through the end of the year for 2025. And Kate went above and beyond and
As always.
and reviewed all of the meeting minutes that we had available to us to look at.
She's making us look bad, but
She's, I love that someone's making me look bad. It's great. And so
let it rip. Go for it. I didn't mean.
Kate reviewed them, marked them up, and then sent the markups to Jen, and Jen has revised the meeting minutes in accordance with Kate's markups. I think everybody was made available. The meeting minutes were made available to all of us to review and look at since the markups. I know I read them all, word for word, over the past couple days.
What'd you think? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I learned a lot. And so, based on what I saw of the markups, I mean, I'm happy with how the changes that were made.
I agree.
So I think we can,
Do we know what the dates were for those ones off? Do you know? Or can we just approve them?
She might have written it in the agenda.
I think we should approve.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I think we should approve each one
No, that's fine.
individually.
Okay, I will.
Might have been one or two small questions in there, but I don't know if Jen addressed them herself. Just to make things complicated.
I did not notice that.
If there was, we can ignore the questions because it was just, yeah.
Well, wait a second, I did. I saw you had highlighted a whole block and said, I don't understand this sentence.
Exactly. So maybe
Right.
that's just me not understanding.
Right.
So if there are questions, we can ignore them.
So I think the best way for us to do this would be to, again,
one.
just take each one and say, are there any,
Aye.
okay. So we just need a list of.
I have them right here.
And are we good with that method moving forward? Because I'm happy to continue reviewing and tracking changes and sending them back to Jen and doing this.
Well, I think we should share in that responsibility, but, if you
Yes.
want to do it, it's not fair for Kate to always have to do it. All right, what's the first one?
All right. Make a motion to approve the changes that were made for October 6th, 2025 for meeting minutes.
Second.
I know. It's been a tough day.
All right. Jim has made the motion to approve the meeting minutes for October 6, 2025, as amended by Kate and revised by Jen. All those in favor?
Jim Four and I.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for October 20th, 2025.
All right, Jim makes the motion to approve the meeting minutes for October 20th, 2025, as amended. All those in favor?
Jim Four and I.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
All right, make a motion to approve meeting minutes for November 3rd, 2025 with the amendments that Kate made.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Kate to approve the meeting minutes for November 3rd, 2025. Roll call vote.
Jim Four and I.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 1st, 2025 that Kate has done.
Second. Everyone's different.
I know.
love it.
I got it.
Keeping you on your toes.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Kate to approve the meeting minutes for December 1st, 2025, as amended.
Make a motion for meeting minutes to be approved.
We got to vote.
Oh, sorry. I'm ready. Jim Four and I.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
All right. Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 15th, 2025, as amended by Kate.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Kate to approve the meeting minutes for December 15th, 2025, as amended. All those in favor?
Jim Four and I.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Look at us go.
That's it.
Nope. Keep going.
Oh, you did the. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm really excited now. All right. Make a motion to approve meeting minutes for January 5th, 2026.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Kate to approve the meeting minutes for January 5th, 2026, as amended.
Jim Four and I.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Make a motion for meeting minutes to be approved for February 2nd, 2026, that were amended by Kate.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Kate to approve the meeting minutes for February 2nd, 2026, as amended.
Jim Four and I.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Mike to adjourn. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Kate Rowland, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.